Oof.
You're welcome to watch it on stream. I've been rewatching recent matches.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, I only checked the, like, chess.com games for Jbell and Anthony. It was brutal. But yeah, Trev and Jbell Bullet sounds exciting.
Tim, did you think it was good material? Do you think Aman would enjoy watching it? Because on Kick, the music is fine. It's like good for rewatching.
Right.
Hey, Kadongo.
Sounds like Tim was a fan. Okay.
Yeah, Trev trolls Val and Chelsea. Val walked in and then Trevor made some comment, where's Chelsea? He just had funny comments all over the place. Jeff, Val, Chelsea, Jbell, Tim.
Some of the so wait, did he mog on Jbell?
They started talking about that as well. You were there for the beginning. He mogged on Jbell.
He did mog on Jbell, right?
So you might enjoy it, but I don't want to disrupt the content. But if you run out of content or run out of ideas, you probably would want to see Trevor actually play Kick Bullet.
Is it just in here?
Yeah.
This one, right?
Yeah. Java Bandit loved it. Because Trevor plays the cattle animal.
Did he just make a new account?
No.
That's his account? Okay, no, that's hilarious. That's a crazy account name. Trev Train?
And he plays on focus mode.
Okay. Trev Train is a hilarious name. And focus mode is also very fun.
Yeah.
Maybe we should be playing on focus mode. Jeez. You can't even see the score of the match.
No,
like,
no. People were just watching Trevor work. Like,
just like, yeah.
he plays like a
underground.
physicist. And he was trash talking while he was playing. And whenever Jbell blundered, he'd get like disappointed at Jbell. Oh, it was really, really good. It inspired me last night.
Wow, I can imagine.
Yes, upset dad vibes.
Yeah, disappointed in.
You got disappointed that Jbell hung that.
Yep.
Yeah. So if you run out of ideas, putting on the match, Jbell getting rocked is
impressive for sure. Okay. Okay. Wow. Okay, I'll keep this. This looks good to watch.
Yeah, he's playing very principled.
And you can hear the music and everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can hear the music, and he plays the cattle and his wife.
Wow.
So you're gonna like it. You could hedgehog. Well, anyways, Jbell's playing the hedgehog. Trevor.
Oh, you just.
Trevor did some stuff to the hedgehog.
Because you need to go at the hedgehog, especially in
Move
bullet.
Order. Move order. You'll see. You'll enjoy what happens to the hedgehog.
Oof. Maybe Jbell can watch his demise again. Cuck energy. You rewatch a match that you lost. You played him in the pool before. I didn't realize it was Trev. I've done that with a few accounts where you didn't realize it was someone you know, or you learn someone's account name and then it's like, oh, your lifetime score is like 2.5 to half, and you're like, what the hell? I didn't realize I was battling you this whole time. A man in the library just started screaming after Madrid scored. I am not following that stuff. I'm a World Cup bra, but I don't really follow soccer as it's happening. Pretty much any of the events other than World Cup, I don't really follow, not even the Euros. Yeah, on an alt is different, you know, because what I know about people on alts is that if someone ever divulges that they played you on an alt, it's because they have a good score. Otherwise, they'll never say anything. So playing people on alts is like, you only reveal the score if it's in your favor. There's probably like a lot of people who might have an embarrassing score maybe against me on an alt. They're not talking. Like, oh bro, I played you on my alt the other day. Ha ha ha. Yeah, it's the score's 49-0 for you. Ha ha ha. Played you on my alt. It's like, no, the only guys that are talking are like, yeah, I'm 2-0 against you on my alt. We know how it works. That's right, Neotris. Just make 1,000 accounts and keep joining the pool to try to play the same guy. You might win 1 out of 100. Never admit to ownership of the other 99 accounts, and off you go to Twitter. All right, I think it's time. We're at 1600. Today's the day, guys. Why is today so special with our speedrun here? Why today over any other day? That's correct. Obercio, we actually are human already. That's correct, Fish. That's correct, Penny. Today we surpass Tim Cannon. We leave Tim in the dirt, in the dust behind us. Never to be remembered. We're at 1600. And the primary goal is to pass Tim. That's why we started the stream. Now let's make sure to be clear. Tim at 1634. 1634. Tim doesn't play rapid, by the way. He's not a rapid player, by the way. All right. 1600. We're playing our 5-minute games. Let's see if we can keep up the attacking energy. D4, all right. Bishop F4. So we have a London here. That's a bit of a weird move. I guess Queen A5, there's Knight C3, so... I mean, I guess that's fine. Still seems like a bit of a strange way to play. So I almost want to go like, I'm curious if we take how white's gonna take back. Probably play moves like this. All right, he wants to take that. I'm actually gonna play f6 here. I think we have a nice opportunity to go f6 e5. We can play e5 here. This check, we have bishop d7, so may as well start with this. But we have a really nice looking position here. This bishop probably needs to go there. Queen b6 can also be played, although I'm not really threatening to take that if he stops and thinks. So I'm gonna go here, and knight c3 I think will be played, and then we'll just go bishop d7. It stops knight d5. After this, I can't really take that. I don't think. This queen takes there so strong. Okay, he goes here. He wants to trade queens. I get it. Let's go queen back. I know it's walking into this, but bishop d6 is coming, and now rook b8 will come with tempo. I think you guys know we're not here to trade queens or anything. Okay. Just interposing that. Always want to throw in a rook b8, right? Hitting the queen here with tempo. Queen b4, fantastic move. Let's just, maybe if we sit here, he'll resign. Maybe. Maybe we send him an emoji. Send him one of these. He says, don't do it. He's chatting to you. He says, don't do it. He says, don't do it. He misclicked. I asked him what move he intended. I told him I will not take it. I'm an honorable player. Wow, he said I'm the best man. All right, now let's go win his queen. Let's hunt it down. This is going to be a great attack here. So, the rook has a lot of nice squares to move to. Here and here. I think I'm a little interested in this. I know there's a discovery, but I just want to castle and play rook b8. Hopefully he doesn't misclick again. That would be a disaster.
Cocaine is my gasoline.
Look at my center here. This is a dream. Not only do we have the two center pawns, but they're supported by two more pawns. Okay. Castle. A5 and A4 will also be extremely useful. Like, because I assume he'll play maybe a move like knight d3 here, which would be nice after this. Some good looking stuff here. Let's see here. This just to I told him that I misclicked. I had to test him, you know, I just see what kind of person he is. He said he won't take it. That's honorable. I just had to test the waters. That's very honorable. Problem is, this move is very useful for me if you're not gonna take it. Extremely useful move. Sorry, buddy, I'm just gonna sneak right in there. Rook A4, Rook A2, don't mind me. Yeah, what a great attacking procedure. Rook A4 to A2. Oh no. Well, I suppose we should take this. Thinking of this one. His queen is trapped, so I think he's kind of got to go here, but queen A5 will be a good move to include there. King B2. And I think we want to bring in queen A3. Then we can win this. And this one is just a mate. A good game to our honorable opponent. GG. Was Rook A4 sound? Well, one thing they won't teach you in game review is that because I had, let's say, an ace up my sleeve, I knew he couldn't take it. Rook A4 is a fantastic move here. So, not something they won't teach you. You know, many good moves here, but unfortunately I slipped with Rook A4. It's a shame that it was such a good move anyway. Even better when you can take on A2 next. So it was garbage? I don't think so. Rook A4 is not garbage. It's a great middle ground. You know, we still maintain a serious advantage after Rook A4. You know, -2? That's a serious edge. And I get to test his character. Don't do it, I misclicked. We need more people that are willing to do what we just did. He meant to just click on the queen. And then he also wouldn't take it. This is the kind of guy that you want in your friend group. Great stuff. Great start to the session here. We're able to get a win and also make a friend in the process. Okay, picante taco. We're gonna go E4. And what's happening here? Knight c3, knight f3. I don't think I've seen anyone like truly play a good line against this yet, but it'll start happening soon, and then we might switch our opening up. Okay, goes here. We can definitely do knight e2, but normally I'm gonna start like this here. Okay, how is e5? Probably not that special. You can take here, we take, but he just, yeah, I mean, you can even take it back. I guess we could castle there. E5. How does this move work? Looks interesting. The reason it looks interesting to me is because I get to castle. I'm like, isn't this the most lost position you could ever have with black? Oh my god, it looks horrible. This is like the nicest position you could ever look at. Good god. Rook e1 check. Bishop f4. Bishop b4. I mean, this looks like a disaster. I mean, look at this position. It's insane. One of the nicest positions I've ever had. I've ever laid eyes on. Well, I think we're just gonna go take here. I mean, this guy's so dead. Some kind of check. And some mate down there. He might block with the queen, but I really don't think he will. Let's actually do this check so that in the event of queen e5, we have not only queen takes e5, but queen g5. You never know when that might come in handy. I also like this because it has these checks in mind, whereas queen e4 doesn't. But yeah, that'll probably just be force made. Absolutely nasty there. No, but I mean, what do you expect here? Imagine, move 12, and you get to have this position. So in this position, this is how disgusting it is. In this position, it's move 12. Let's say black is one move away from castling, so they can castle on the next turn. It's black to move, and you're up a pawn. All right? Everything I said is factually accurate. The evaluation is almost plus 20. Plus 20. One of the craziest evaluations for being down a pawn. Well, guys, I would say that I have compensation for the pawn, at minimum. That's a nice big win for a guy like AB Shakespeare. AB, I hope those 50 subs can enjoy a guy getting completely cooked. Like this is a full meal. It's a 3-course meal, a la carte. Like, forget that, man. This one is a fixed menu item. 50 kick subs from AB Shakespeare. So appreciated, man. I can't remember now. I'm trying to think, like, AB Shakespeare. When I think AB Shakespeare, do I think attacking player or not? Would you describe yourself as such? You know, when I think Tim Cannon, I do not, for example. When I think Salty, I do. When I think AB Shakespeare, I'm not sure what I think. But we're gonna keep it going here. I decided to play some more upbeat music to contribute to the attacking vibes. Great answer, Gory. Great answer. And a good reminder, I saw that this morning. But very happy for you, AB Shakespeare. Just secured a significant amount of funding for his startup. Go, buddy. You get my point. I'm not saying, hey, it's always a team effort. But I'll always remember, AB. AB Shakespeare came into the Discord one day and said, guys, wish me luck. I'm about to go give a presentation on a project that I have said I've been working on for the last 2 weeks, which I haven't. I said, good luck. Good luck, my guy. Looks like it all worked out. Y'all start somewhere. Procrastinator gang. Ain't that the truth?
We won't go home.
Hello, Choose Chew. Yeah, I was gonna say, Gory, Tim has to be careful. We're in Tim Cannon hunting range right now. I have a license to farm Tim. All right. Let's see, with the black pieces, E4. I'm gonna see what we can do with the Caro-Kann. It sounds like the most boring equal opening. Let's see if we can actually turn it into something aggressive. I don't know. Let's see what kind of setup my opponent wants to go for. Okay, C4 is very aggressive. It'll be hard. You know, if he plays something like C3, a bit more like that, I think it would be easier. Okay, so let's go like this. Okay, knight c3. Now, the thing is, it's tempting to develop the bishop and then play e6. Normally, you don't have time in these positions because the pawns are too weak. So, I'm not really going to be going for stuff like that. Which means I will need to play e6 here and just strengthen the center. But yeah, white's probably going to like go here, here. Okay, bishop e7. This pin is a little frustrating. Wow, okay, and he jumps straight away with knight e5.
I hope you're not afraid of the dark.
Huh. Castling is definitely the right energy here. It's hard not to trade just like every single piece. Let's start with this because it can't be a bad move. Obviously, we can pre-move this. I feel like if he takes on f6, might even take with a pawn. Kick the knight out, strengthen the center. Yeah, I mean, this is tempting, but I'm gonna take like this. Like, this is a good move, in my opinion. I think it's a good move, but this is so tempting to do. It's just a rare example of like, obviously this looks tempting, but I take back and everything is so secure here. This is terrible pawn structure wise for me. After this move, I think I am just gonna go here, but to be honest, bishop b7 is also fantastic. I'm just gonna go here because I think it's actually kind of safe. It looks pretty good there. Okay, let's just get the rook on the open file. I will be hitting the bishop here, which is just nice to have. But I think we've actually done a decent job at turning this into an aggressive position. b3, maybe queen a5 already nets me 2 pieces here. Rook b1, yeah, this bishop's probably gonna come back to d3. But because I have the bishop pair like this, more often than not, you want to put your pawns on the same color as their bishop, so that, for example here, like I'm gonna go probably bishop d6. The next move, I think I'm gonna go f5, opens up my queen, but then this bishop is kind of operating on dark squares. And then the pawns are all in light squares. It's just kind of nice. My king's also pretty safe as well in a dark square. Not too bothered. It's a great move there. I'm gonna go for f5. Open this up. Queen f6. Looks like a great move. Hits the d pawn, which, by the way, is not super easy to defend, so he's going to retreat the knight. Now I think it's time to use the g file, which, I mean, it is open. Bishop d7, if he uses the c file himself, let's say, if I play bishop d7, every single square is covered, so it's not even like he can use the open file. And rook g5, queen h4, rook g2, he's only a couple moves away from happening. Queen h3, which is a little bit odd. Yeah, I'm just going to develop here. I don't want to do too much before I'm fully mobilized. Okay, the knight comes in. He's dropping this pawn, but then that one falls. And who knows what happens after that. Yeah, I have a feeling it should be good for me. Take. The thing is, after queen takes, I really should probably play a move like this and just kind of enjoy my position, but I think I'm going to move the king. This is a much better move, but for some reason, I'm just interested in this. I think this is better, but I really want to set up the stuff. Hitting the queen here. Queen's got the e3 square to go back to. Queen h4 can appear. h3. Yeah, it's not like the end of the world, but annoying that I have to move my queen, or sorry, my bishop off this diagonal, but I'm trying to get my queen h4. It's funny, but this move is a little bit annoying. It's not really a big deal. f4, queen here, probably bishop d6 then, just to guard and get the bishop back here. I feel like we're building up to a sacrifice, because where does this knight go? Like, it has to go almost to h1. Yeah, it's a good move though, queen a7. Bishop f4, I'm not getting enough after that. What's my next move? Bishop takes? What if he just moves his queen somewhere here, you know? So I wanted to play this so that we could try to make some threats. Yeah, he goes there. I feel like at this point, e5, kind of have to go a little bit all in here. But I'm gonna choose to do this. And go for stuff like that. Okay, spring queen d4. I don't really see what this does, so I'm just gonna bring literally every single piece over. Okay. Queen takes. Don't think we're missing anything here, right? This is a couple checkmates threatened. Queen takes h8 should be tried because rook takes drops my queen. But we'll have to jump back with the queen and then just renew the threat after. But this should be the move. Goes here, but as you can see, it doesn't really make a difference because we had two checkmate threats there. GG. We were able to create, I would say in the end, a monster attack. Like, just looking at this position right here, this is tough to defend. So there's something that I would say is a little bit important to note, which is that during this whole series, I'm often in positions where I'm down material, but every piece I have is placed in the optimal square, and I'm like, it's like the moment before disaster. Like this position, like the position I had last game on move 12. Every piece was just like ideal. And what that creates are positions where the evaluation might be like -10, +20. Like insane evaluations while I'm down material. And it's because I'm like, every piece is perfect. There's so many threats, you can't deal with all of them. That's what's happening here. I mean, rook takes g2 and queen h3 is a game-winning threat. Queen h3 as well. So I'm trying not to concede too many things. Like, even if my attack didn't work here and we took the queens off the board, I would still be better. So that's what I mean when I'm saying I'm not like sacrificing too much. Hey Brian, new peak. Well, let's get that rapid in there. Let's get that in there. Oh yeah, 1235. GG. Opponents in the dirt. Go Brian. Oh, you guys meant bishop f4. When I read the message, I think it was already a different position. Yeah, you guys meant it here, right? Because I think I read it. Oh no, never mind. I was thinking of the variation that I was talking about, like this. Bishop f4. But actually, it wasn't even possible. Because the way he played it in the game, he's like played queen g5 instead of queen e3. So I think because in this position I was gonna play queen h4 and f4 after queen e3, when he did this move, I basically just did the same thing. So I didn't even think. So you guys are right, absolutely. I guess there's still knight f5, but it's a move that doesn't save the queen any further, right? If we look at all these squares it can go to, and thankfully for me, there's no rook e1. Because if the bishop was out of the way, maybe rook e1 would be a little annoying. But yeah, this is much smarter, especially considering knight f5 that walks into a billion different ways to lose. Yep, bishop f4 is great. I was so focused on, just basically like getting all my pieces into the attack that we did miss one moment there to really KO. What we did is still winning, but bishop f4 would be filth. Yeah, I thought about rook g4 after queen on h3. Eventually, I think I just decided on something that I thought would be more reliable. Like taking this, I actually wanted to give that pawn up so that I could use the h-file. Whereas rook g4, I guess I thought he would play knight h5. And it's kind of awkward because if I move my queen this way, I don't really have rook h4 coming. So I'm not sure what I'm doing there. And if the queen moves somewhere else, I thought maybe g3 or f4 was going to get played. And I don't really have rook h4. I don't have an open file. Feels like the g file is not that useful. So my position is tremendous, but I wanted a position where I was attacking more. So I decided to take because it's clear that this position is just more fun to play, way more tactical possibilities. So not like rook g4 is a bad move, but to me it doesn't get the type of position I wanted, which was open. I'll take your center pawn. Like I got this pawn. This guy took h6 and opened the h-file for me, so I feel like that's a much better trade. But yeah, not a bad move at all. And yeah, you might get them blundering as well for forgetting that rook h4 is just a killer move. So the Caro-Kann kind of worked out in a weird way. Let's go for e4. Yeah, I think in that last game, the Hippocrates, rook g4, knight h5, queen g5, f4 was the main reason I didn't want to go for that. f4 hits my queen. White can follow g3 next. It's just in time to stop it. All right, g6. I'm just gonna take the full center here. Okay, I think I'm gonna take the opportunity to play bishop c4. I've done this before, I think, in this series, but when people are not playing knight f6 early, I like to go for bishop c4. Go like this. Okay, yeah. So e5, e6 was such a problem that he played e6, which is never a good move. Because now it's almost like he's playing, you know how to describe it, but kind of like a hippo. So I'm going to go e5. This always provides great attacking opportunities. I've talked about what you need to have in your position to successfully go for a Greek gift. Well, the same thing with this position. When you have pawn on e5 against the fianchettoed structure, h4, h5 is always killer. And the only weakness that I'm going to have in this game is probably going to be my e5 pawn. So I'm just going to take the opportunity to solidify it. d5, I would be very happy to see. Close things up. Absolutely. So yeah, let's just overprotect this. Could even long castle, but now that this is protected, I'm just gonna go for the h-pawn. See how he wants to defend that. Okay, he goes here. I think that's a bad move. I'm expecting c5. We'll definitely meet it with c3. I almost don't even have to because my position is so good, but yeah. Don't want to get your piece trapped. Let's just play comfy. h5 is really nasty. This check does a whole lot of 0. Whole lot of nothing. Helps me develop. This queen is attacking. Again, absolutely nothing. So yeah, let's just play h5. All right, I can long castle here maybe. Could drop the bishop back. I could also play a3. So I have a few ways to continue. We could also kind of go all in soon. And that's what I'm considering the most. I kind of like a3. Bishop e3 is nice and safe. Maybe just keep it simple. Yeah, I don't want to like jeopardize my position for an attack that might not work just yet. So while I'm thinking about this, I feel like I can play it any time. So I'm just going to defend the weakness I have. Remember, when the pawn was on d6, I wanted my bishop here because e5 was weak. Or it's the only thing he could attack. Once he plays this and switches like c5 and take, now d4 is the only thing that is really weak or can be attacked. So I'm going to switch to defending that. a6. Whenever you're attacking and someone on the other side of the board makes a random pawn move, oh my god, you're just you're laughing all the way to the bank. Absolutely. Okay, we're not going to be castling here, so I'm going to really drive this point home of overprotecting. I don't need to castle. I can just play a move like king f1 if you ever need to get out of the pin or if things open up, no problem. I'm definitely going to be taking, but I'm looking to build up first. Okay, takes. I think he's trying to play d4. I also think that's quite risky on my opponent's part. Do we want to throw in knight takes or just take with the pawn? Pawn takes, d4. We have a3. Not sure if this is worth it. Yeah, let's just take this way. Yeah, so taking here looks pretty damn good. I think I might throw this in. This looks like a nice one just to interject. Like, I think he has to go back to one of those squares. This one looks wrong because of that. This one I have knight a4, he has queen a5, so again, he's kind of surviving. Okay, yeah, he kind of chooses the wrong one here. I think knight e4 is just kind of gets me out of it. But here's the thing, even if he had won my my piece back, I was crashing through on the other side of the board, so I think there was a real problem there. Yeah, let's go ahead and take now. Open things up. Probably moving this knight next, but let's wait and see. Takes this way. Yeah, let's just go straight in for some kind of attack here. Maybe even knight f6 was a good one. Knight d6. Just have to like involve the knight somehow. So here I have the option to take and kind of really go for it. I'm actually going to do something surprising. I'm just going to go back. Like, it looks really, really weird, but I know I'm in a good spot. I'm up a piece. So I see h6. To me, all I'm thinking is, okay, like, opponent's just hanging. Like, I'll just take it. So I'm not really interested in like stacking a piece and then maybe allowing d3 and some counterplay. I'd rather just play it safe. It's not always the best idea to keep ramming your head into the wall when you're up material. Like, I've already launched an attack. It was successful. I won a piece. I don't think we need to keep going there. He goes rook f5. Put this knight on a pretty nice attacking square. It's a high energy move there. Rook takes f3. I respect you, my friend. I respect you. Knight c4 comes to mind. Takes. These moves are all like maybe slightly fancy. Even knight takes here. Let's go knight c4. Taking with the pawn or even the queen would probably be somehow sufficient, but you can see his idea. Knight takes e5. Yeah, it's I think we can grab this way, yeah. Knight takes e5 looks kind of wrong here because, I mean, just count the material, right? I'm up a full rook, and I've been saying that I've been interested in king f1 the whole game. Finally, we get to play it. g6 is hanging. Rook here is coming. I'll start with the move like this. Just hit the queen. I'm still gonna have to work here. Maybe I'll trade queens. I'll take it myself. We'll put our queen here after the expected rook f8. e5 may also happen. I'll probably just take again. We have bishop c4 though, so having the time here that he's spending is giving me like answers to calculations. Had he moved instantly, I might have just taken here. But now that he's spending some time, I also have spent some time, and bishop c4 looks very good. I want to take. He might go bishop f6, so I'm not going to pre-move it. Yeah, I think we win the other one here. Okay, let's take this. Pre-move this. I'll be hovering this. Just a good pre-move to do that. I mean, I'm not saying he could have really survived here. It's a pretty tough position. But we did have 5 seconds. That's a respect resignation right there. It's a lot of respect at the 1600 level. Nice to be treated like royalty here. So, full credit to my opponent for just making that a struggle, because not everyone would have the, like, even the courage or the understanding to play a move like this. I'm not saying this was a fantastic, like, amazing move. But what I am saying is, I think without it, he would really be cooked, you know? Like, just a move like this, or b5, bishop b7, like, he's getting mated here. So, I was impressed by that move. I thought that was a really good one. Not the best move in the position, but certainly the right idea, because we had a great opening. Anytime you can get a pawn on e5 against this setup, the h-pawn should be your next visitor, right? That should be the next thing in the attack. h4, h5, even as early as right now. We're 16:31. Tim went for the snipe and is still at 16:34. Big battle from Tim. This is an important game. This is to surpass Tim Cannon. Tim is going to have to launch a concurrent game if he wants to keep up. We're playing the French. So far against the French, my thing is just don't close it up. So if d5, don't play e5. That's, like, I think e5 is just not that easy to attack with. So we see b6. Let's go for this. This is an opening that I play. Queen e2, knight e2. These are all good moves. I think I'm gonna go queen e2 here. Okay, knight f6. I'm gonna go knight h3 and castle. Knight there. I guess we just go for this one. See what he wants to do. He might castle, so I'm gonna... Yeah, it's like he thinks I want to go there. It's not the case, but I understand why you'd think that. Okay, so this supports the center. He goes g5. That's kind of the move that I'm interested in seeing. Let's look to open things up. He's for sure going to play g4, but our knight wants to retreat to that square anyway, so all good so far. Okay. Gain some space, even at the cost of opening up that bishop, which doesn't make me happy. I'm gonna save our bishop, and now, I don't know, playing like knight there, maybe c4. Yeah, this is exactly... He couldn't have walked into what I wanted him to walk into more than he did. He just trapped his own knight. And I also have a really dangerous looking knight coming into the f6 square. Myself. Knight e4 looks tempting, but probably not good. This is nice and simple. Let's do that. Knight f5. I think we're just taking it, so no worries there. Here, bishop g5 looks quite good because, you know, force the queen over there. King has trouble castling. Hopefully we get rook g8 here. That would be nice. No cigar, eh? So the king can't castle, like my opponent's king can't castle. I think we'll just keep it really simple. Just undermine that, and yeah, there's no castling happening. So knight there, there's gonna be a queen check that we have to answer. Knight takes on d4, but again, there's still no there's still no castling happening. So let's try this. Okay. Now if queen there, we can also go here. Knight there. I mean, if we're being honest, there's still no castling because you would just lose the piece. Get out of the way of this, and I think I might do something like that as well. What's the best we can do here? A lot of good moves. I'll do this surprising move. Just want to gain some time by attacking that rook. And now after this, I take with the queen, and I'm also threatening queen g8 for checkmate. So yeah, honestly, he kind of makes a good decision, which is castle, even though you're losing this. I can't say anything bad about it. this way. I think this is the most reliable, but everything was winning, of course. Let's trade. Always keeps things simple. GG. Yeah, this was a really successful opening, but it mainly was just like pushing pawns, thrusting. E5 not the best, but this is a position that I'm pretty comfortable with. That's an interesting comment, Victor. Did you see our last edition of the speedrun? I played the exact line that you said, and I remarked the exact thing that you said. That it's often a very nice way to launch attacks, and that it's very worth giving up the pawn. I even did it from Black's perspective. So yeah, I actually discussed that precise thing. I agree with you. Joshy, I promise you, watching me destroy these people is not more satisfying than actually destroying them. I'm having a great time. As much fun as you're having, it's better for me. Now we have to check in with Tim, no? Tim lost trying to keep up. Got lost in the sauce. And now he's active. Lost in the sauce. We did surpass Tim. We're on the road to 1650 now. All right, let's just go for b4, d5. I want to see how he wants to set things up. Bishop g5. Let's see how he reacts here. Will he take? No, not quite. All right. Let's take this position if he'll hand it to us, because although the queens are off the board here, you get to launch a pretty substantial queenside attack. He's gonna go here. I think we can just hit him with bishop f5. So if he takes, we take, and our next move, our follow-up is hopefully just gonna be e6. It is a little bit weird because the bishop's on g5, not f4. I haven't yet deciphered whether that matters too much. My feeling is no. Because takes, bishop takes, if I just take it back, then this pawn falls, and that could be quite bad. But I think after this, I play e6. He's gonna go here. I mean, walking into knight e4 with tempo is only gonna satisfy me. Thank you very much. Let's go f6, g5, and h5. So if h4 by white or h3, then remember this bishop being captured that way is not usually that good. So the option to do that. That looks extremely good, so I think we're just gonna go for it. E6, let's get the bishop here. And also the queen will drop back to c7, so. I didn't think there was any point in rushing with this, because after king f2, I'd have to play e6 anyway to go like that. So I'd rather have this situation. So let's do this. I assume he's gonna defend like that, but then queen c7, and he's losing that pawn with check. Pretty uncomfortable. Yeah, white's position is in complete disarray here. I know this looks tempting, but it's much better to take because the rook's just hanging there. Oof. I think this is gonna work out. I wish there was a mate here, but I don't think we have checkmate quite yet. Here, there's king d1. So yeah, not quite checkmate. But man, it feels like something. So, how are we gonna do it? I think this might be a situation where we just castle. Okay, the knight goes back to e2. I think we're a little bit happier with that. Now we can get this bishop in. And there's a lot of situations where the knight moves and then we play this. Meanwhile, this pawn is still pinned. And I would say f5, f4, or e5 all look like pretty nice ways to continue. b3 looks like the type of move that I'm gonna ignore. I don't really see what's going on with that one. Take it back with the pawn here. I have e5 and f4 next that I'm liking both of them, honestly. And it just looks like a whole lot of nothing happening here. And if that knight ever moves, and it's so tempting to move it, it's checkmate in one. So it's like, you can't move this. You can't move this except to b1. You can't move this. You can't really move your rook. You can't move this pawn. No wonder he played queen b2. It's almost his only legal move. Even the queen was pretty much trapped. It could only move to 3 squares. So there's just not many moves that you actually look forward to playing in a position like this. This move looks good. There is e4 that can happen, so. Yeah, I think I'm gonna play this just to try to make f4 hurt a little bit more. I think he's probably gonna play this because what the heck else are you gonna do? Literally none of your pieces can move, as we discussed, so at least this makes a threat. But yeah, I want to follow up with f4. At some point, I'm expecting him to do this. Like, there's almost no moves to do, so may as well run the king. Yeah, f4 almost no matter what. Queen b5, f4. g3, f4. King e1, probably f4. Okay, he's just going back. Now it's definitely time to kind of crash through. The only move that looks remotely challenging is e4, because then things don't open up as much. But the reason I wanted my rook here was I wanted to try to force things to open up, which is why I've got f3 ready. Yeah, so if this knight moves, I'm getting bishop g3. And to be honest, knight takes, there's just zero chance that works. So let's go g4. If you take it, you drop this rook. Otherwise, you drop the knight. A reasonable attempt, but I think pretty much all the time here, I'm going to be comfortable sacrificing. Let's just take this with check to start. Let's take this one. Get our bishop in. Bishop g3 coming up looks like something. Maybe this rook swings to d8, because that's where the king's gonna run next. Yeah, it feels like a bishop g3 needs to happen. Probably this one. Take a check. Give a check. And at this point, we're just hunting the king, and I think we can do so using all of our pieces pretty effectively. King has to move. We'll give one more check, and we'll give this check for mate. GG. I had to hunt him down there a little bit, but couldn't let him escape for real there. That position for white was never presentable. The interesting thing about this game is the only piece in white's position that ever ventured past the third rank in the entire game was white's bishop that went to g5 and then back to f4 and back to g3. Other than that bishop, no piece went out of this box. Alright, the bishop was the hero that made it to the 5th and 4th ranks. But, you know, it's like the scout that you send out to report back with information, and they just never return. Sad. Wow, yeah, not a single piece made it past the 3rd rank. Not a very adventurous game for white. Let's see if we can hit the nice 1650. The Germans. Let's try for the first time in honor of 1650. The move d4. Let's see what kind of aggressive positions we can muster up. I'll just play a classic setup, see what he wants to go for. Hit f6 and e6. So we got the Nimzo. I'll play what? I'll play into it, and I think I'll play f3, which is known to be a pretty aggressive Nimzo position. I'm going to get this, so then my pawn's protected. think for that reason, he'll probably move the bishop back, or he goes back here, but yeah, same idea. Queen here is playable, but I've got many ways to interpose the check, and even if I move my king, knight takes actually loses the queen on d4, so don't think it quite works there. This is a really weird move because, I mean, just kind of on the spot loses material. Bishop h7 and queen b1 is available, but yeah, we're gonna keep it simple with knight e2 for now. I might play queen b1 next. And yeah, we're up a piece right now, so don't need to get too fancy. Let's launch our attack here. The F pawn is about to say hello. Don't think I forgot that we're attacking here. I'm still pushing, I'm still thrusting. Okay, let's bring the knight over. He takes. Yeah, this one looks fine, but opening the bishop, opening the rook, that's the right energy. Okay, I guess we're gonna just listen to ourselves. Ooh, taking here. How can we say no to this? I know we dropped this knight, but there has to be something here, right? It's one of those situations that you just feel there's gotta be something good. So what can we do? Rook f7. Here, here, here. And now I think knight f5 is the way to go here. So I mean, something funny, if I take check, takes, let's imagine bishop takes, rook takes. Of course we should take with the queen, but I just thought, like, if I take this and then play rook takes, bishop takes d4, and then there's 4 connected pass pawns, and even after rook f2 I might lose the game. Kind of a funny line. Yeah, pawn takes f6 looks quite reliable. Knight f5, in a strange way though. I think knight f5 is actually the best move. I don't know how to say it exactly, but knight f5 is going to win the queen and guard d4, and on this one I'm going to play this weird move, e6. Again, trying to win the queen. And if the king goes here, I'll trade queens and take. And amazingly, I would say this is the most accurate continuation. I'm not sure if that's true, but seems to remove any and all counterplay. But pawn takes knight is like just so goddamn good that that I wouldn't be surprised. Hey, look at that. We were right. Knight f5. Got an accurate one in there. I mean, look at this opening, right? b4, like, guys just hanging pieces for us. But this f3 Nimzo, guaranteed to get some sort of aggressive position because you're committing to just like sending every single pawn in the center. So I do like it for that reason. There are a lot of kind of aggressive Nimzos where the point is to just take the full center and maybe take double pawns as a result, like here. And yeah, as soon as we had a position like this, even if you didn't play b6, you know, I was gonna play f4, knight f3, this kind of stuff. Yeah, looked pretty good. looked pretty good. Okay, 1650. Not bad, not bad. And what's our Tim check? 1633, and Tim's still fighting. Tim is still fighting. I'll definitely be continuing from 1650, but let's see Tim's battle here. That's right, Victor. I think that would have been a good one. So white's rook is so bad here, but black can put the king on the wrong square at any time, you know? Wow, can you believe Queen C2 from the cannon? Like, that's a crazy professional move. Queen C2, there's just the, you know, the mindfulness to play such a quiet move. Impressive, impressive guy. Okay. Tim is looking to defend an endgame, probably down a pawn, depending on what his opponent does. Yep, unfortunately that's the best move. Here, and here. Oh, so let's see Tim's defense. In case you're wondering, we have 1000% looked at this in the gym. A lot of people like to troll me after Tim loses an endgame. Like, did you look at that in the gym? This one, I'll say it in advance. We've looked at it in the gym, so a failure by Tim here will reflect on me. I'm ready to take that heat. And I can tell you that Tim is flailing here. Can't imagine like how many times we must have reviewed this, and I'm not seeing it from Tim. Okay, we need this expeditiously. Nope. It's a loss on time, but it's more just disappointing. Tim, we don't care about the mouse, dude. We care about your non-existent drawing technique. Tim, I went out on a limb. I said, you know what? We've looked at this in the gym probably a billion times. Probably the #1 most looked at item. I didn't see a shred of technique from you. So let's say this position. How? I mean, the engine won't even help here because everything's a draw. But how should white be making the draw here? Because Tim basically put his rook here and put his king here, and that's a losing procedure. Kinda Young Dave says rook to the long side, baby. Rook to the long side. Now, rook to the long side, sure, but we need to be more specific than that. A lot of us could put the rook to the long side and still easily lose. Like, you're saying give checks forever from here, but that's not gonna work, right? I'm gonna use my pawn as a shield and then just walk you down the board. So rook to the long side on its own is not enough. So let's say rook to the long side, sure, but what's next? Check behind. Absolutely not. Terrible move. Terrible move. Check on the G file. Awful, awful, awful. Correct, Brian. Correct, Sphinxy. The best move, based on what we know, is rook b4. There are many ways to draw. Many ways. But rook b4. You just go one file in front of the king. One rank, sorry. And after f5, you just sit there and wait. With your king or with your rook. I like to leave the king in front of the pawn. Just feels good. If you get checked, go up. If you get checked again, go down. That's it. And the second that they push their pawn forward, then you go all the way back. So that when you get checked, what did I say? Go up. When you get checked, what did I say? Go down. Don't do this shit. Nope. No, no, no. Go down. Go up, go down. That's it. Do it forever if you get checked. But the second you don't get checked, start checking yourself. And notice how this king can't hide in front of the pawn. Why did I say check was so trash at the start? Because the king can hide in front of the pawn. That's a bad feeling. Even here, you're still gonna make a draw, but you have to understand that your rook needs to come back here and stay one rank ahead of the king. And just wait. So it doesn't matter if you wait here or wait here or wait here. This pattern can be anywhere on the board, it doesn't matter. So what happens when the pawn pushes forward? You go all the way down here, and then you give checks forever. What happens if the pawn does not push? You sit there and you do absolutely nothing. You shuffle, you wait. If you get checked, you go up. If you get checked, you go down. That's it. That's it, that's it, that's it. And if your opponent offers you some kind of rook trade, like on h3, you can take it. Like, they might do this to try to get you off the third rank. You'll give yourself a hard time by going like this. Just take it. It's a draw. And if you keep your king directly in front of the pawn, they'll never be offering their rook trade here or here. Because it'll just be like, well, first of all, they'll never be able to offer it here because the king's in the way. They just can't get there. So they could do something like this. But you can take it again. That's another draw. But there's not going to be a way they ever offer you a trade here, because then you shouldn't take it. Because then the king will take and you'll lose. But it's just not possible. There's just no way to end up here. Right? Because how are they going to get the rook there? The only way would be from h3, but you'll take it on h3. So, king up, king down, rook shuffle, wait for the pawn, then check from behind. That's it. With all that in mind, let's observe Tim's technique. Okay. The king's in front of the pawn. Great. What move is needed here? Rook here, rook here. No. Black's also doing some funny stuff, so black should just go like this and just push the pawn and just, yeah, win the game like that. Finally, we see this. Boom. But now this is a problem, because now Tim cannot take this. right? If he had set this up earlier, black king would be here and you could take it. Now you can't. So now Tim's job was a little bit harder, but it's because he kept his rook back here for so long. And even though he had it as a draw, he needed to go all the way down here. So it's like Tim misplayed it so many times and still could have drawn it. Tim lost this, yes. Time was a big factor, but I didn't really care about who won or lost, more about the technique shown, or the lack thereof. Damn it, Tim. All right. Refilling, bathroom, and back. We're continuing from 1650. In the meantime, we can watch Tim. Is Tim playing? He is playing. Okay, yep. I'll be right back. Ouch. Thought Buddy Tim would last longer. Feels bad. Maybe after, Brian. I said I was gonna continue the speedrun. Can't stop at 1650. But yep, maybe afterwards. Hello, Baz Maniac. And yes, of course, hello to Chess TV. Most important. All right, here we go, here we go. Okay, how can we get sort of an aggressive position here? Let's try this. Thinking e5, knight d7, and then turn it into a French almost. I don't like bishop there. E6 seems reasonable. I think we definitely want to take this. Knight e2 to threaten the pawn. E5 is hanging. I could also go knight c6 to defend. I think we'll probably do knight c6. So the center is basically collapsing here. And then we could launch an attack. I just had to handle white's center first. Clever move. He is going to be down a pawn here, but so we can go queen b4. But c3 is a decent move. Queen a5 takes, knight c6. He does hang on there as well. I like tying the queen down to the knight, so I'll choose this one for now. Queen c7 was a reasonable move also. See one of these three moves. This one looks like the absolute worst. These two a bit better. And then, yeah, we'll probably take this pawn. Or maybe h6. Queen f4, h6, and then g5 looks good. Meanwhile, the queen has to stay defending this, and d4 doesn't really help. That's a crafty move there. Don't really want to trade queens, but it's people can't really be making bad moves This is the one thing about the series that I always try to reinforce. Like, if someone is going to take this position, down a pawn, terrible pawn structure, just to trade the queens, like, yeah, I'll trade the queens. I'm not going to say no to something like this. And we'll just get back to safety here. I think maybe knight f5. Nice square. Nice square. Let's get the bishop in. King up and rook sold. Yeah, wasn't even thinking there. b5 actually trapped his knight. Up a piece. I'm just thinking about trading. I'm very boring. Trade, trade, trade. Cover it with king d7, also with this move. I think I'm gonna have to play this move anyway, so I'm just gonna play it now. Like, if he plays rook c1 after king there, then I also have to play it. May as well try this. I would do that if I were him. Khan, wouldn't say leading to too many aggressive positions, but we're trying, undermining the center, and, you know, had he played a different move, it could have turned into an attacking game there. But yeah, we weren't really going to castle either direction, so we're ready to fight. We were ready to fight. d4. That move, I'm kind of wondering, like, what's the setup gonna be here? G3. Don't really want to trade the queens that early, so how do you not play queen e7 here? The funny thing is, after this, it's not even mate. Gotta take a phone call. Man, you know that feeling when you have like an important phone call that you're expecting, but you don't know when it's gonna happen, and because of that, you're forced to accept phone calls that you wouldn't normally accept. Let's go here. And this looks normal. Oh yeah, no, I've definitely had my fair share of phone calls where I think I'm supposed to appear in Chinese court for felony tax evasion. They've been summoning me for a couple decades now. Okay, let's go with the pawn. As I always say, if you have a fianchettoed structure and there's no knight on f3, h5, it'll just always be a fine move. Like, No issues with that at all. Okay, great move to shut the bishop down. Cover b5. If we see a knight go to d4, I'll probably drop the bishop back, but bishop e4 is also a nice consideration. Yeah, this one doesn't look that good. Let's just go back to d7. G5 could be an idea. Could be an idea as in it looks great now. Although it's tempting to castle and let him play this and do that, technically he could make a better move, which is queen c2, so that's not possible. And I'm not sure how much I'd enjoy dealing with that, so I am gonna play this. Now. Okay, let's go here. H4 next, most likely. The knight's a pretty bad piece right now. Castling looks great. It's possible knight takes c6 is about to be played. Quite possible. For that reason, I'll play this. I don't know that I love it, but this looks like it could be fun. Damn, he played it. All right, well, we get to have our fun. So does he, though. Good. Happy to see that. Two ways to do things here. Of course, the pawn is the only acceptable way. And this move can be played at any moment, so I'm just going to take this back. Yeah, we still don't need to take this rook just yet. This kind of looks like a nice move because f3 actually loses the queen. Yeah, it's kind of like you don't think that I'm threatening that much right now, but by taking this rook, knight f2 comes forced. So it was only a pawn on g2, but it turned into white losing every single piece of material. Damn, he escaped. Okay, we have to make our bishops. bishops out of the way. It's actually a little difficult to, yeah, I need to give up this. Oh, he flagged. What? Like, this guy had 2 minutes. How did he flag? I had to give up one of my bishops because the perfect bishop square here would be like this. And then I wanted to have my king here. I almost had it. Like, well, I basically did. King takes, bishop here, king somewhere, give the check, and then the bishop comes here. It was like basically about to happen. Then we get the perfect box. With our king here, almost like a scorpion mouth, you know? King at A1 is better, but what do you mean? I can force it. All I do is this, and he has 2 squares. So I can always force the checkmate on A1, even if he goes here. Right? I can just wait until he's on A1. Right? So this is the checkmate. This is what we wanted. But there's something very satisfying about having the bishops all like this. This is the great setup. Because then he's shuffling and it's all, you're all ready to set things up. I had an extra bishop that I had to give away. If I had an extra bishop on a dark square, then, you know, I could have included it on like H8 or F6 or something for, you know, for the aesthetics. It's a real shame we didn't get it. And keep in mind, the only reason we didn't get it is because he had 2 minutes and 3 seconds and we had 22 and he flagged. Come on now. Come on. A real shame. Come on, buddy. All right. We kept it spicy. He should. It's hard to do, but he should take this. Very difficult to play, right? So you're going to be down a piece here. But this is better than what he did. That's how bad taking the queen is. The pieces coordinate very well. Okay, good stuff. Let's go for e4 again. Okay. Let's go for queen e2. Knight d5 is a weird one. Maybe he'll play knight here next. I have a feeling he will. Okay, still waiting for this. All right, he played the good move. He played the good move only to blunder right after. What was the point, man? Huh. Why put us through that? We're up a piece here. Doing very well. That also does not make a threat. Bishop cannot go anywhere. Rook e6 is tempting. Let's see. Uh-oh. He has to be in trouble now. There's so many tempting things here. Need to remind myself. Keep it simple. to do anything crazy. Whoa. Yeah, that's too much. But I didn't really do anything this game. Like, I mean, you have to know that these squares are covered when your opponent pushes their center pawns. Those squares are never available to use. That's not how the game works. So him going knight f4 was a big oversight. Yeah. Okay, two knights, still working really well, I would say. 1774, almost 100 points higher than us. And c4, we have basically not seen this at all. So I'm gonna play e5. Most combative response. e3 is a little low T. Let's make sure something happens here. Let's play f5 so that d4 we play e4. Okay, hitting this pawn right here. I'll just go like this. I would play g6, and I actually probably will still play g6. My bishop's not doing anything out there. But I don't want to open the game. I want to keep it closed. It'll be a little bit better for my attacking prospects. So maybe he'll castle this way in this game. We'll see. Okay. The answer is no to that. He will not be castling that way. But the thing is, even if he castles this way, that's perfectly fine for me. Don't want knight g5 hitting us. Again, we always have e4 that we're ready to play. Okay, I would say that e4 now is kind of a move, but I'm still going to refrain because he still has some nice reactions. Let's just develop. 97 helps defend that so we can push. Yeah, I'm kind of waiting for him to do this. Again, this move should be quite good. But if I want to make sure, so I would go here at 94, hitting this pawn. That's what I would do in this position. c4 is kind of hard to defend. We're hitting d3, but I think what I'm going to do instead is this, and I'd like to see d4 so we can play e4. Yeah, he's going like this. I don't think he really knows what to do, and I think he's holding off doing this because he knows we're going to do that. And because of that, I'm going to keep holding off because the position just seems to be improving. He really has no plan, I can tell. So if he goes d4, we're going to play e4 and keep it closed. Now we should probably just push. I see no reason why not. I feel like he's not going to be able to handle pawns very well. So yeah, of course we want to close things up. H4, we can take that. Yeah, of course he's got to play this move. Like, he needs to open some diagonal somewhere. Otherwise, you know, what the heck are you even doing, man? So that makes sense. Just gonna continue to add some pieces to the game. Not gonna go too crazy just yet, but I do want to play h4. The other move I've been thinking about is maybe knight there. Yeah, knight a4. c5, I'll probably go rook d8, so like takes queen c7, we can play rook d7, and wow, very, very surprising move, I would say. Okay, I'm trying to understand what he's up to here. Bishop takes is fine, but I'd rather not deal with the knight coming in, so probably one of his worst moves ever. c6. Obviously, I'm just going to keep things closed. I have no interest in playing on that side of the board. This is terrible. Yeah, so now we want to do this. Rook h8. I feel like if he plays this, we can just go a6 even. Liking the look of this one. Liking the look of it more now. Maybe slot this bishop in on the f3 square. I think king g6 is fine here. Even taking, to be honest. I think I'm actually just gonna take it. Bishop f3 looks so strong. And then like g4 and build up from there. There's gonna be some queen move that you need to be like mildly careful of. Like this or this, but as long as we step forward or put our queen here, I think we'll be okay. Yeah, maybe taking the rook was okay. There was knight f5 in the air, and yeah, just in general, I feel like it wasn't necessary. Okay, we'll see if I'll just get off any checks. We'll see if he can defend here. I feel like I would be impressed. Maybe queen d2. Queen takes here is, of course, a nice shot. He can play rook g2, so it's not like completely over. I think I actually have a nice move here. I mean, takes is good, but if I take, he might take here, and then rook h1 and rook h2 is mate. So just take this. Maybe we can get him to do that. Ah, he doesn't. That's okay. That's mate, and that's also mate. I don't think he can stop everything. It would be stalemate if he had this, this, and no rook. That's a lot to ask for. Let's take it back. Let's give him all the false hope in the world. Credit to him, man. He at least saw what he should be going for. I know it seems silly, but in this position, yeah, recognize that having no pawn moves and no pieces is your only attempt. It really is. So he spotted the idea and he went for it. Can't blame him for that. Yeah, we had a nice attack there. Probably built it up maybe even too slowly, but man, this was a nice looking position. Yeah, I think just doubling the rooks was good. We decided to go for this, which is like definitely good, but not as good as just doubling the rooks immediately. So I don't think he would have been able to get over there to defend. But yeah, this was keeping things closed and then attacking with the pawns. That's a nice win right there. Back to d4, c4. G3. Yeah, I'll play the Benoni. Oh, he might not. Maybe he'll play knight here. Yeah. Okay, we're playing the main line of the Benoni here.
Makes me go insane.
Benoni's always a very enjoyable position to play, I find. Control this square. Can always attack the king pretty nicely.
Makes me go insane.
Also, if he's not playing a4, pretty soon I'm gonna play b5. And I think it's been so long since I played this that I think he's forgotten about that move. And that queen move would be the perfect evidence. Okay, we're gonna go on the aggressive side here.
Makes me go insane.
Definitely expected this, but this is really nice. Our knight stays on e5 now, and at some point we can always follow up with f5. So really liking our position here. Bishop d7, queen g6. This tempting move, I think we just go there. I don't really understand that move. Knight f3 is available, but takes. Don't think we really get anything after that. Yeah, I think we just want to develop here. f3 looks terrible. Don't think he's gonna do that. King h8, rook e8. We're building the attack here. We have space on the queen side, and we're building the attack on the king side. This pawn is kind of keeping everything frozen. A3, kind of a whole lot of nothing. Let's bring the rook over to the same line as the queen. I do like king h8. Queen e3. It was a knight c4 move. Let's just stick with this for now. This is where you want this pawn to disappear. That would be the best. Well, king h8, because at some point I might play f5. But here, I basically have time. This is what I think. What's white doing? a3, king h2? White's doing 0. So you might see me make moves here that I might normally not do if there was more pressure to go quick. But I'm not feeling any type of pressure here. Like, I think I can do whatever I want. But yeah, if I'm gonna play f5 at some point, I'd rather probably not have my king on that diagonal. But I would be acting with a little bit more haste if I was required to. But my opponent's not really doing anything here, so I don't feel like I need to speed up. Okay, queen f4 seems to me like that bishop is just trapped. h6, bishop f6, but f6, and we just win it. So that should be that right there. Pretty nasty is on the next move after takes, queen takes. You know, I almost have to trade queens there. But next move I could even play h6, which still wins the bishop, but perhaps in a nastier way. Or at least keeps the pieces on the board for me. Because I don't really want to trade queens with them, even though we win that pawn down there. I mean, it's just it's a massacre.
Good.
Yeah, he hasn't had a clue about what to do, I feel like, in a very long time. Ever since we played g5, g4, h4, he's been locked down here, so he doesn't have that pawn to push, and some issues. Alright, rook takes, queen back. There's a knight f3 move. Or bishop takes, and then some kind of bishop takes h4 idea. This actually seems fun. Knight f3. Ah, okay. He's handing me the material. It's definitely tempting to not take it, and I don't know, maybe go for something like this, but not sure that's the way. This one I'll almost certainly take. Hopefully win his queen on g3. Thank you. Pass that one right over here, buddy. Appreciate that. I felt immediately comfortable sacking here because I probably need to sack to break through anyway, and I'm up an entire rook, so this is an immediate sack. But yeah, I mean, truthfully after g4 here, he was put in a tough spot because h4 looks like the move, but then I'm sitting here racking my brains being like, what the hell is white planning on doing? They have to come up with like a really good... Probably you have to move this knight in a way where like you trade for this knight. I don't even know. But White looked aimless for the last little while, and then just immediately downhill from there. Yeah, and h6 was the best move here instead of taking, although they're very, very close. That was a nice attack on the king side here. Remember, even though we're castled on the same side, we had all the opportunities there. Sack on h4, there was no f4 coming. This knight was anchored in on e5, beautiful knight. Maybe one more game for 1700. All right, let's go back to e4. You want to be 1700? You got to beat 1700. Let's do it. Go for this knight b3, knight c3 stuff. 97. I feel like I've seen this before. Okay, go queen f3. I think last time I did this, I did queen h5, and they did queen e8 and like f6 or f5. I didn't like that, so I'm probably gonna stick to something a little more trodden, as they say. Let's go for the long castle afterwards. And 95, queen g3. I know it's actually, I'm not exactly sure which one is better, like to take and have the double pawns or just to leave it here. Okay, I mean, I'll probably go f4. The other move I'm thinking of is h4. With that knight there, h4, h5 looks quite strong. I'll do this. Knight g4, I'll just move my queen. If I go here, I feel like he might play queen there. So perhaps I'll rethink that to queen f3 instead. I much prefer queen g3 to then play bishop e2 and everything, but I don't need, because queen g3, by the way, also threatens like an f5 idea, like lots of moves, so it's a much better square, but man, I didn't really want to deal with queen h4. Threatening this. I'm also guarding that square. Seems like nothing, but if you can't bring the knight back to f6 after h3, knight h6 is pretty depressing. f5, knight e5. I don't know, that doesn't look very promising to me. e5 is an amazing square for his knight. Damn, he actually played the best move. Because now the knight has f6, and he covers this, and his stupid queen h4 move. But honestly, he just played here, and now he's going to go back, so I feel like he's the one wasting time here. Maybe just to develop here into d3. If he wants to play c6, we'll just go back. If I go back here, I'm allowing this, so let's go like this. Bishop g4 is a great bait. Looks like we missed it. gonna trade our queens, but it's like, again, I'm not gonna be upset when the guy's like scrambling to trade queens when he's down a piece. It's like, oh no. Oh no, I'm trading queens. Please don't trade queens with me, sir. C3 and knight d4 I like. Just going to the semi-open file here. Okay, let's put some pressure. I think he's gonna go rook e8. I think I'm gonna have to do one of those grandmaster moves. I'm just gonna play this because it simplifies really nicely. He's obviously not gonna take that way. Rook d7, and even though we just lost the pawn to do that, we're so active with the rook here. That ended that ended things a little bit quicker. If I was really a grandmaster, I would have just played this. So you can tell we're a fake GM playing moves like rook d7. God, how could we? So let's say that he didn't blunder bishop g4. What's he gonna do, right? The knight's about to be kicked. I mean, he can take, but now my bishop is open. I'm about to play g4, h5. Like, position looks really, really nice here. I feel like our attack is happening, and his is barely getting going. So that's why against the Scotch, I've just been playing this knight b3, knight c3 line. I don't really know how good it is, but my plan is just to always trade the bishop on e3 and then castle. That's it. It's not like I have an opening advantage, but it's a really easy way to get opposite sides castled of your opponent, and then the pawns launch really nicely because there are often knights and stuff that you can gain tempi with. Very nice 1700 there. We'll take it. Couldn't possibly hate the knight b3 line anymore to play against with black. Tim, you better jump in the pool, buddy. Because once this series releases, everyone's going to be playing that line and KOing you. So, you know, it's an expiring timeline for you to get a new peak. People are going to start coming at you in this line. What do you mean used against you, AB? Do you mean like, can people play the way I'm playing? Or like, what's the question? For the most part, the whole point of this series is not to launch an attack where I'll have some fun from time to time, but the whole point is not to launch an attack that needs to succeed, that needs to be checkmate to succeed. A lot of times I win a pawn, I win material, something, and I cash it in. So none of these attacks are like all-in attempts. Like here, I'm playing h4, but it's like my position is good and h4 is a good move. It's not like I'm just playing the insane attacking moves. So yeah, I mean, knight b3 is a theoretical move. So of course anybody can play this with white. Nice 1700 there. Apparently there was a match I missed. A big T-Man match. Eric suggested to catch up with it. Good match, eh, Tim?
I need some drops for Jbell.
Okay, one sec.
I feel like I can barely hear it. Gotta like crank it. We're listening to the music through the bot. Jbell said he was gonna adopt for sure against T-Man.
He's gonna rape me already. Fuck. Oh, fuck.
F5 super strong.
Fuck you, Jbell.
Okay. Trev Train is a great bullet. His current bullet rating is almost 2,700. Great account name. Focus mode is serious.
Val,
Oh, fuck, bad move.
Jbell's trying to adopt Trevor and
I
Bullet.
fucked up. That was a really bad move. Fuck. Fuck. Oh, okay, fuck. I fucked that one up. Okay, warm up, Jbell.
Oh wow, he lost the first game too?
You're up a rook. You got
And he
me.
was up a
was
rook.
really
Holy. I would assume that Jbell almost could adopt him if he couldn't
I've
win up
never
a
seen you
rook
play
in game.
Bullet. I'm
game
really
one.
excited.
Come on, Jbell. I haven't played in a while. Fuck.
Oof. Myra in the opening here.
Yes. That's how you know he's a physicist, Java Bang. Playing the Catalan and Bullet. That's how you know the guy's got a PhD.
Okay. Eric's funny.
He's fucked. Jbell. Oh, fuck.
Oma, do you respect Trevor?
Oh, this
do you
is
think
a
Jbell's
massive
gonna
KO.
lose?
If he wins this, I'm like retarded.
Okay. Hello,
If he
Thomas.
draws this, I'm retarded. Okay, good.
Adoption over.
Okay, Jbell, you get the shotgun.
Dude, you crushed him that game.
Yeah. What?
Check.
This is
I'm playing music for Gordy.
this is looking lethal. Oh no, Penny. He really does have the most defined jawline.
What?
That's not the lighting, and you know it's not the lighting because Eric and I are in the same lighting. And no one's ever said that about us.
We have a Grunfeld chat over here.
It's certainly nothing to do with the light.
Probably fucked this up too much. What?
Oh, I see you, Tim. Remarking about Trev's name. Trev Train is a fantastic name.
Ah, fuck. What am I doing?
You missed the, yeah,